So, hi, Mr. Sabo. Today I will present to you one of the subjects that I decided to analyze in my website, and this subject will be the subject of this video. So, what I decided to analyze with this subject is oral tradition. I chose this because I think it is a very relevant subject when looking at the book Woman of the People. Um, so, oral tradition is very relevant in the novel and in Indian tradition because uh, at those times and in those cultures, technology is almost not non-existent, and especially at that time, it was absolutely non-existent. And knowledge had to be transmitted in some way. So this is why the Indians adopted verbal ways to transfer information and knowledge to their younger generations. So the most famous oral tradition that has been the most studied across America is called storytelling, and it is in fact what Helen, the main character of the book, became throughout the book. So she became a storyteller for her people because she was well spoken and had a lot of knowledge. And yeah, so storytelling is the process in which an elderly or a very knowledgeable person transfers information to younger generations through the use of stories. So, for example, in this picture, we can see an elder transmitting stories to her to its younger generations. So, for example, these stories could have concerned hunting tales, also tales about the forest that could help them know what is dangerous and what not to approach when hunting. These also can include spiritual tales. So, for example, one that was very popular in Canada and America was the tale of the Wendigo. So the story varies, but in some it says that children should be aware and should be careful of for example, hearing someone laugh in the woods or uh, humanoid things, which can be translated today to bears, for example, or other animals that can be dangerous to natives. So yeah, this is one of the reasons why uh, Indians used oral tradition to communicate uh, their 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 information. Other things that are less talked about in oral tradition that Indians communicated to each other, as I wrote here in this text somewhere. Um, One second. Uh, Oh, here. So, other less known facts that the Indians communicated to each other verbally were geographic information, genealogy, and cultural knowledge. This is less spoken about because it is it is it was less used by the Indians, but it's also very important and relevant information to the younglings so that they can remember the past and pass their culture along to their kids as well. So, for example, genealogy, so they can know who their parents, grandparents, and etc. were. Um, Geographic information, so that they can, when they grow up, they can know exactly where they came from and their background, their cultural knowledge, so how they subsisted, for example, hunting, gathering, and all these their activities and their way of life. So the nomadic way of life, how to disassemble a tent, how to hunt buffalo, how to ride horses, and all those relevant information to their way of life. So yeah, that's about it for the oral tradition part of my project. I really wanted to analyze this because we can see a lot of instances of it in the book, and that's why I chose it.